man who is possessed with evil spirits. These spirits are many, calling themselves Legion. And Jesus cast the spirits into the swine. And after Jesus cast the spirits into the swine, the man is clothed and in his right mind. Y'all want to hear what I said? I said after Jesus cast the spirits into the swine, the man was clothed and in his right mind. It's in the passage of chapter 5 that I wanted to share tonight, but I think it's important for you to understand that when Jesus stops by, even the enemy knows his place. Jesus cast the spirits into the swine. The swine commits suicide. They go off, and then the man is clothed and in his right mind. And Jesus tells those that are traveling with him to go. And as he tells them to go, Jesus gets into a ship. And as Jesus gets into a ship, Jesus comes to a place to where he meets a brother by the name of Jairus. When Jesus meets Jairus, he finds that Jairus, this man of great prominence and prestige, Jairus, his daughter is at the point of death. And as his daughter is at the point of death, Jesus is on his way to Jairus' house to heal his daughter who is at the point of death. But while Jesus is en route, after he's healed the man possessed with spirits, after he meets Jairus, the text tells us in verse 25 that a certain woman comes onto the scene. I wish y'all would walk with me tonight. And while Jesus is en route to blessing somebody else, in verse 25, there is an interruption in the text. The interruption in the text tells us that a certain woman comes in to the press. This woman does not have an invitation. She doesn't have an appointment with Jesus. She does not have a reservation with Jesus. Had not made a prior arrangement. She has no business being there. It was not her turn to be blessed. It was not her appointment. But I've come to encourage somebody tonight that just like that woman, it might not be your turn. There is no time tonight. It may not be your turn. Jesus may be blessing everybody else, but if Jesus is blessing in the neighborhood, that means he's going to come by my address at some point in time. It may not be my turn, but it is my time. I don't know who that's for tonight, but tell your neighbor it's my time tonight. It's my time to be blessed. It's my time for breakthrough. It's my time for God to come and to see about me. So somebody here need not be discouraged tonight, because while it looks like Jesus is blessing everybody else, he's on his way to Jairus' house, and he's possibly making it seem as if he's leaving others by the wayside. If you would just press your way to him. I got a heck of a hunch tonight and a sneaky suspicion that while Jesus is on his way to bless others, Jesus will take time to stop and to bless you. Maybe you don't have the faith that I have, and maybe you don't have the faith of this certain woman in the text. But if he is on the way to healing somebody else, Jesus got enough power to heal you too. Jesus doesn't have to be confined to your own box. That Jesus only has time to see about what's going on down the street. Jesus is omnipresent. He's everywhere at the same time. He can be with you here and with your mama at the hospital. He can be with you here and with your granddaddy at the nursing home. He can be with you here and your father locked up in prison. Jesus is on his way. He's headed to Jairus' house, but the text says a certain woman comes behind him in the press. I teach Brown Chapel this, but I think it's good teaching to teach Good Hope and Ebenezer and all those who are here tonight. That in the text, verse 25, the woman's name is anonymous. Whenever you see a name that is anonymous, it means it can be any one of us. You just put your name in it right here. And the text tells us just three things, and I'm done tonight. Three things that this woman does when she has gotten to the place of being sick and tired. And maybe this isn't for everybody here, but there ought to be at least 10 of us here that would be honest tonight that there's some times in life where we get sick and maybe I brought the wrong message tonight. Is there anybody here besides me that sometimes life can the point of being sick and tired. You say, Smith, how do you know she's sick and tired? I'm going to show it to you tonight and I'm done. She's sick and tired, and she does three things. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Three things in the text that tell us what we must do when we reach that point of despair and dismay. The first thing the woman does is that she makes a decision to touch. Church say touch. She makes a decision to touch, to press her way. It's there in the text. I'm not making it up. I'm a Bible preacher. It's right there. The text simply says to us that there is a certain woman who is traveling amongst the people, amongst the large crowd, and it says that she has been bleeding for 12 long years. She suffered a great deal under the care of many different physicians, and she spent all that she had, and instead of getting better, she got worse. I'm on somebody's street here tonight. It seems like you've done everything right, but instead of things improving, things started to go backwards. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me tonight. You've been tithing, you've been faithfully in church, you've been involved, but it seems like God has forgotten about you. I wish somebody here would be honest tonight. She's done all that she can do, but instead of getting better, she gets worse. But when she heard that Jesus, oh, y'all know when to shout that. When she had heard that Jesus was passing, her condition has not changed, her situation has not improved, but when she heard Jesus was passing by, she said, if I can just touch her. Let me teach it. Can I teach it? 12 years she's been dealing with the same condition. The text tells us that she has a decent job. She's well employed, she's gainfully employed, because the text says that she has spent all that she had. For many physicians. She didn't just get one opinion. She went and got a second and a third and some others. She went to many physicians and spent all that she had. But she got to a place to where she was sick and tired. I believe the woman said, and I'm tired of this. 12 years dealing with the issue of blood. I don't need to be graphic tonight, but allow me to just paint the picture that you are consistently losing a steady stream of blood for 12 years without stopping. So her body is getting weaker and she's getting feeble. She's not able to find a man to have, she's now having personal issues and private issues that have become public. Y'all don't hold on tonight. She's now a public spectacle. She's believed to be unclean. And don't miss this, 12 years is the maximum time it's believed that she could live with the condition. She's getting ready to die. I wish somebody would hear me here tonight. She's getting ready to lose all that she had. She's at the point of death. But she says, if I can just touch the hem. That's what I want to get right there. I don't have to touch him, H-I-M. I can just touch the H-E-M. I can just touch what's on Jesus. And what's on Jesus can change my situation. All right, y'all ain't got to change. Let me teach you. The hem, H-E-M. The church say hem. The hem of his garment. So Jesus, in that day, didn't dress in the fashion in which I do. I only wear robes on first Sunday. It's too hot to wear robes in the summer. But there's a robe that Jesus has on. And on top of this robe, Collins, there is what is called a shawl that has talents on it. It has talents on it. He has a robe. He has an outer shawl that has talents on it. It's similar to the tassels that you have on your hats for graduation. And the talents on the bottom of the robe. And these talents are often called zigzags. I wish I'd walk with me here tonight. The talents or this tassel on the end of the robe, this pressure are called tzitzits. And so it is believed that as the end of the robe is adorned with the talents or the tzitzits, that each and every one of those talents represents a different word from God. It's believed that each and every one of those talents is a representation of a different word from God. And so this woman says that when she hears that Jesus is passing by, she says, listen, the crowd, y'all can fight about who's walking next to Jesus. Y'all can posture about being on his left and his right. But I just need to get that tassel because it's a word from God that can fix my situation. Is there anybody here that knows that if you get a word from God, it'll change your situation? Maybe you've been sick, but you really grab a seat from God and say that he was wounded for my transgressions, bruised for my iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and by his stripes I am healed. Maybe your bank account is down and low. If you know that God will provide, he will supply all your needs according to his riches and glory. When you're going through, get your word from God. Is there anybody here that says that I can make it if I hear a word from God? I can be delivered if I have a word from God. I can be healed if I have a word. And so you might go to church just because that's the church you've been going to for the last 20 years. You may go to church just to see what your neighbor gonna have on Sunday. You may go to church to see what car they gonna drive up on the yard end. But when I come into the house, I need to put on a word from God. Is there anybody here that says, I need a word? So when you get sick and tired, you got to touch. So the second thing you got to do is here. It's in the text. It's in the text. The second thing you got to do when you get sick and tired is you got to talk. You got to talk. It's right there. Y'all see it. It says, a woman subject to bleeding for 12 long years suffered a great deal under the care of many physicians and spent all she had, and instead of getting better, she got worse. And in verse 27, it says that when she heard about Jesus, she came up behind him in the crowd, touched his cloak, because she thought, if you study that in the original Greek, it says that she thought to herself. She had a conversation with 3 people, me, myself, and I. She thought to herself, if I could just touch his clothes, I can be made. All right, I ain't got everybody in the house yet. Because I figured out black folk in the church. We dress things up on the outside, but we dress up on the inside. But when you're down and out and going through, you don't need to tell everybody your business. When you having marital problems, everybody on Facebook don't need to know what you're doing. When you want to cuss out your boss and then you get mad when your boss fires you because they saw what you posted on social media, you don't even tell everybody your problems. But some problems in life we bring on ourselves. And some of us have problems right now because we want to talk to everybody about what we're going through. And watch this, everybody cannot help you. Everybody doesn't need to know what you're going through. Everybody doesn't have a word from God to deposit into your life. But sometimes you need to stop talking to folks and just talk to yourself. And say, I'm like David, I got to encourage myself. Pastor Birch, you know, before you came, before the Lord sent you here to Good Hope, you would visit us over at Brown Chapel, and on some Sundays, I felt like I was preaching and when nobody hearing what I had to say.
All right.
Why you Marco Hood behind me?
All right.
You came down that road a few times, down 441, down in that great city of Bishop, and on some Sundays I felt like I was preaching to myself. I wish I had somebody here. I see my ministers here. That's my prayer warriors, my intercessors. There are some Sundays where it seems like it ain't going nowhere, and I can't figure out, Lord, what is going on. But the Lord told me, He said, listen, sometimes it ain't about talking to people as much as it is about talking to me. That says, I don't care what you think about me. All I care about is what God thinks about me. Don't worry about the crowd. Don't worry about those that are around. Don't worry about who won't join in with you. But sometimes you just need to talk to yourself and say, self, you got to press your way to where Jesus is. Self, time is of the essence. Self, you got to get to Jesus. Self, you can hang on in there. Self, don't give up. Self, fight on. Self, don't throw in the towel. It's going to get better from here if you talk to yourself. Because I don't want Bartley and Jones mad at me because y'all stayed too long tonight. But somebody ought to just give God praise. That sometimes the best person you have is by yourself. On my way on the yard, I was talking to God in the car. That sometimes you just need a time by yourself. So when you're sick and tired, first thing you got to do is you got to touch. She said, if I could just touch the hem of his garment, I could just touch his clothes, I'll be made whole. Not only do you need to touch, but you need to talk. She encourages herself in the Lord. And that's vitally important for this last one. Here it is. Because after you touch and after you talk, you got to take. I'm trying to teach y'all how to shut off the Bible. You see? I ain't got nothing else. That's all I got. I just got the word. Here it is. All right. It says that immediately, that's verse 29, that immediately, straightway, her bleeding stopped. And she felt in her body that she was freed from her suffering. And at once Jesus realized that power, I think the King James says, virtue, thank you, Lord, has gone out from him. And he turned around in the crowd and said, who touched me? Verse 31, here it is. Here's the problem in the text. When you study the text, Collins, when you study the text, there's always going to be some type of friction in the text. Friction comes in verse 31. I mean, it was going good. She went to touch his hem. She pressed her way. She's been suffering for 12 years. She gets to where Jesus is. Her situation has changed. Jesus says, wait a minute, who touched me? Because this doesn't feel the same as all the other touches that I have received. And in verse 31, it says that these rascals called disciples. These jokers who've been walking with Jesus for a long time. These brothers who've seen Jesus perform miracles and seen Jesus raise the dead and to heal the sick and open blinded eyes. These brothers say to Jesus, Jesus, you see all these folk out here. And you got the nerve to ask, who touched me? I want y'all to catch this tonight. If you catch it tonight, you'll be delivered tonight. Here it is. Everybody was around Jesus. Everybody was bumping into Jesus. But only one person got something from Jesus. me, but everybody ain't touching Jesus the same way. Everybody was around Jesus. Some people were there for what Jesus could do for them. But this woman says that I've got an appointment with Jesus. I know my name is not on the books, but if I can just press my way to where Jesus is, she takes something. All right. Jesus says, no, this touch is different. This person took something from me. She took virtue out of me. She took power from me. And only one person got well because they touched Jesus. And I don't know about you, but that's my prayer every time I enter into the presence of the Lord. That I want to touch Jesus. That I want to take something from it. And you can take virtue from Jesus. You may come sick, but you'll leave well. You may come down, but you'll leave up. You may come worried, but you'll leave filled with joy. Is there anybody in the house tonight that knows that if you touch Jesus, if you talk to Jesus, if you take from Jesus, you can trust him, you can depend on him, you can count on him, you can walk with him, you can lean on him. Is there anybody in the house tonight that knows that when you do all of that, that the power that's in Jesus, that same power he'll give to you? I know y'all don't like that in the Baptist church, but we gotta make sure that after we tell the story of Jesus, that we tell the story that Jesus began ministry at 30 years old, that for 3 years he blessed people, and then one Friday he died on the cross. I'm a good old Baptist boy. I'd like to tell you that he died one Friday. He died. Yes, he did. To the 6th to the 9th hour. He died. Yes, he did. That's a good part of the story. But that's not the end of the story. Because bright early Sunday morning, he got up with all power in his hands. That's where we like to end it. But that's not the end of the story. Because 50 days later, on the day of Pentecost, that God sent out his power. And is there anybody here glad that you got power? If you got power, open your mouth and give God the best praise. Y'all ain't happy. Y'all ain't got no power. I see my exit. I got to get off, y'all. Here it is. All right. College there. Stephen Carter, graduate of Morehouse College, tells a story. I'm going to get this to you, then we're done tonight. Here it is. That he was on the elevator, went to go see one of his members. As he was on the elevator, goes to see one of his members. A lady walks in to the elevator, and as she walks in to the elevator, he sees beepers and pages all over a white coat, and he said, she looks important. Let me ask this woman what she does. So while they're on the elevator, Carter turns to the woman, and he says, excuse me, ma'am, what is it that you do? And she says, well, I am the chief of surgery. He says, oh, you're a surgeon. She says, no, I'm not just a surgeon. I'm the chief of surgery. Beamer goes off. She places a phone call. She's being called in to surgery. And she says to him that I'm the one they call when everybody else mess up. And so as she gets ready to exit the elevator to go see about a patient, she turns back to Pastor Carter and says, excuse me, sir, I forgot to ask you, what is it that you do? Pastor Carter said, I work for the one that you call when you mess up.